This feels so good to be live tonight. Just to talk about and read into the energies that we are traversing through, experiencing, and get some messages from the other side. I've been receiving a lot of supportive messages, and last night it came through in a dream, very, very vivid dream of an entity, or I felt the mothering, nurturing presence, and it was in female form in the dream, and she was holding me and nurturing me and telling me that everything was going to be okay and that we are supported. And I know this wasn't just for me. Hi, Dustin. This is a message for us all, that even though we are traversing some very rocky, bumpy, challenging energies, we are still in the midst of shedding and purging. And the last, since the new moon, or even for me personally, it was just the last 2 days, and I know why. Many of us brace. I actually wrote something down. It's not mine, but I do want to share it. We've braced ourselves for whatever the challenges are. We've prepared ourselves. We've been strong, maybe even clenching our jaw. My jaw is really sore, by the way. Not letting the tests and the challenges really get to us. And eventually they get to you one way or the other. For me, they came through in really silly, ridiculous, minuscule ways, but hit some real sore spots. And really these sore spots were the ending of survival, of being in survival mode. And I don't think we realize how deeply embedded we've been in survival instincts and survival modes here in this life on this planet. But that is leaving. And that can be sometimes more uncomfortable than actually being in survival mode. So it is the shedding of the old. And in honor of a lot of the amazing messengers that have been following me while I'm traversing some really bumpy, rocky energies, and feeling a lot of negative energies bouncing off of me or releasing from me. I have had the birds, and specifically yesterday, there was a hawk that made itself very much known that I am here with you, and continue to expand. Remember, bring your perspective up to a higher level so that you can see the situation from the top of the tree is where it ended up landing. And I could hear the message loud and clear. So I dug through my office and I found the Divine Feather Messenger deck, which I have not read from in a very long time. So hello, everybody. We are going to just get right into it. Oh, I did say I wanted to share. Okay, so let me share this. I wrote it down because I really feel that this spells out the end of 2025, this last stretch that we're going through, this dark, narrow tunnel. We can see, we can feel, we can sense the light at the end of the tunnel. Yet sometimes we kind of get stuck in the dark spots, and our egos will react. We find ourselves, maybe you find yourself not as reactive as you once were. Definitely one of the messages I received in the beginning of 2025 was to write down a message to yourself about yourself. Just journal about yourself. This is the beginning of 2025. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I'd like to see. And then read it at the end of the year and see how much you've changed, shifted. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hello, Shali. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Keep on believing in yourself. You're stronger than you think. Stay blessed, stay happy, take care of yourself. Take this. Thank you so much. So beautiful. I love the energy in here. So what I wrote down, this came through in just like an Instagram post from, her name is Sabrina, and she's with Rewilding. So check her out. She has an astrology channel. She also coaches people through the shedding and the dark goddesses. She goes deep into the dark goddesses as well. But I wanted to share what she wrote today because it was spot on of what I had been experiencing for the last couple of days of this week. Since off and on, since the solstice was heavy, I could feel the collective weight of grief, of sadness, of frustration was a very big energy that I could feel. Not that I was taking it in personally, but I was definitely witnessing it. My name is Paige. Okay. So this is from Sabrina at Rewilding. 2025 basically said, you didn't die, you shed. If you're exhausted now, that's the aftermath. It's what happens when survival ends. Survival ending can feel worse than survival itself. When you stop bracing, everything you were holding back comes online. And those words right there, I was like, yes, yes, this is true. This is very true. 3 signs survival just ended in the body. You're deeply tired and sleep barely touches it. Loud, busy, chaotic energy feels unbearable. Your body wants quiet more than stimulation. 3 signs survival just ended in how you're moving through life. You don't want to explain yourself anymore. And really, truly, we have no need or desire to explain ourselves anymore. It is now embodiment of this at a soul level. And loving ourselves, truly. I think Dustin said it best. He says it a lot, and it's very true. We have to learn how to love ourselves unconditionally. You cancel plans and you don't feel bad about it. Pushing through feels impossible now. We're not meant to be pushing through this. We're meant to surrender and allow the energy to carry us. There is new energy. It is here. We're breaking through the debris, the darkness, the density, the fog. And that reminded me of this unnatural fog that has appeared in California. There's a lot of unnatural things that are going on, and a lot of us get frustrated with that too. The chemtrails blocking the sun. It's been very cold and gray and dreary for days and days since through the solstice through now. Okay, so let's keep going on. 3 signs survival just ended in what matters now. Old goals don't motivate you like they used to. Whether it's, I'm going to do this because it's going to get me money. I'm going to do this because it's going to further advance my whatever you're working on. These old goals just are not the motivating factor any longer. The motivating factor that is opening up within each and every one of us is to remember why we're here. Remember the purpose that we came here at this specific time, why we chose to awaken first before our friends and family and our society, because we have a lot of wisdom encoded within us that is coming online, that is opening up. You want fewer people, fewer words, fewer demands. This is more of like a minimalist. I know that I've been kind of torn. I've been really requiring more solo, more time to myself in the quiet. But at the same time, that also brought up within me some inner child work that I needed to look at when it comes to, there was a story going on there. Is there anybody on this planet that I can actually relate to and connect to? And yes, but there was a deep sadness. It was an old story that had to rise to the surface so that I could see that energy still alive, that narrative still alive somewhere in, and that nurturing energy that came through in my dream was helping to soothe that, helping me help soothe that wounded child. We are still purging and healing our wounded child within. Peace suddenly matters more than potential. Yeah. The old life doesn't fit. The new hasn't landed yet. You're in between selves. We are in between versions of ourselves. If you haven't noticed, sometimes the old will arise, and that's when we start to feel reactive, frustrated, sad, angry. All of that, let it go. Let it do its thing. Try not to connect or try not to attach to it. That space, this space that we're in, is sacred, is holy, even if it's uncomfortable. Nothing is wrong with the quiet. It means the noise fell away. If this landed, something just finished. We are repatterning after survival. The old life doesn't fit. It means the old ways of being, the old ways of doing, the old mentality, the old perspective. Old ways don't work, they don't fit. Once you awaken to the truth, once you go through the process of coming back to your soul, coming back to your heart, loving yourself, and remembering why you're here, going back into the old life, you can try, but it's going to be extremely uncomfortable and it won't fit. It is like putting on, we've gone through a growth spurt, and it's like putting on old clothes that don't fit anymore. Okay. So, going to get some messages. And we're just going to flow. I have no idea how this is going to roll, but we're going with it. I'd like everybody to thank Dustin here. He is my moderator. I may have a couple others that jump in. I'm going to keep my eyes off of the chat, but towards the end of the reading, we may offer a one card pool for a select few. Please be respectful in the chat of the energy that we're holding here for everyone. We really do need to stay connected to one another as we are going through this final passage into brand new energy. Brand new energy. And like I said, that energy is here. We are molding and shifting and adapting to align with it. right, so. All right, first of all, I'm going to just clear some energy here. I feel we might need a little bit of that. Yes, so, and any questions you have, Dustin can answer. I will look up and see in between readings. Let me just kind of get myself into a space. And remember, this is a sacred, holy time. This is not about religion. This is not even about holidays or any of that. This time here on this planet is extremely sacred. And what is opening up within humanity is our true nature, the truth. And what we are witnessing that may feel demonic, destructive, is the collective shadow. We want to take accountability for our part in what we put out there energetically and physically, through our emotions, through our beliefs, through our opinions, our judgments. Everyone here is innocent on the other side and loved, deeply held. Hi, Darren. I haven't even seen who all is on here, but welcome everybody. We're going to get a few messages from Divine Feather first before we get into the tarot. All right. First message we have is the Falcon. Use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. And what I'm picking up right away here is not just keen perception. That comes from how we feel. We have to be honest with ourselves before we make any decision. Before we open our mouths, before we type something into our phone to text somebody or to connect to a chat, how are you feeling? Is that going to benefit you and everyone else, what we are choosing? There's a lot of deep wisdom that lies within each and every one of us. And this deep, wise soul self is coming to the forefront. This is the version of ourselves that we want to embody and embrace. I see somebody says you can't have light without shadow. Absolutely. And you should not be afraid of the shadow, because there are definitely a lot of energies that will feed off of our fear, if you haven't noticed. And they're hungry, and their appetite is insatiable. So the more we feed these energies with our fear, and fear can come in many guises and disguises. Fear can arise through anger, through rage. Fear can arise through anxiety, judgment, opinions, believing we know. We know better. We know more than others do. That's all based in fear. Okay, the next we have is Finch. New opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. And I feel this is the Ace of Pentacles energy. When new opportunities arise or show themselves to you, make sure that you are making decisions based off of your keen perception, and how it feels. We are going into a new paradigm of energy where it will require us to discern, to use our intuition, which is based off of our emotional body, how we feel, feeling our way through this passage of life, navigating through the feelings. One more. Most of us have lived on this planet in survival mode. Maybe not have even realized or recognized, because the ego tells its own story. So, and you have to remember that not everybody is on the same part of the wave, but everybody on this planet, every human being on this planet is affected by this new frequency that's coming in through cosmic energies, coming in through solar flares and geomagnetic storms, coming up through the earth, awakening what's alive in our bones. We have the robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. And the symbolism of the robin, for me personally, is a sign of hope. Don't give up hope. We didn't come this far to give up. And that was a strong message I received. Was it yesterday? Whatever day it was that I was having a reaction. I was allowing reactive energies to infiltrate my perception and my emotion. I allowed it because I wanted to get to the root of it. What is in here? What is in me that is still reactive to something outside of myself? Provoking an old wound, an old fear, something that has been passed down. We're also working with generational trauma, generational karma, what has been passed down from family to family. Keep hope alive. Don't give up on your dreams, your wishes, and your desires. They may have changed from the beginning of this year. Most likely they have. A lot of us are like children when it comes to our hopes and wishes and dreams, and not saying that it's good or bad or anything. It's just, it's minimal to what we could actually co-create here. Bringing the energy, aligning with the energy of heaven on earth, our true nature, our true source, soul, self. Overall, we have the Blackbird. The magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. Yes. And this is the change that is happening within each and every one of us. Whether you embrace, these messages are saying to embrace it, embody it. Sorry, I got a phone call. You know, I always do announce. Can you guys hear me? Are you there? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. 'Cause sometimes when I get a phone call, it will bump me out for a second. Okay, good. Thank you. Sorry about that. I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Anyway, where was I? These magical and unique qualities of our untapped potential are coming to the forefront. But what we need to do, what we've been going through, we have, if you look at the astrology, we have many, many big challenging aspects, squares, 90-degree angles. They are beginning to separate, although Venus is still in a tight square or an exact square with Saturn. That's and Saturn is still in the end degrees of Pisces, also with Neptune. So we have a lot of different challenges that we're still working through. But when we use our keen perspective and perception on it, instead of falling back into victim, savior, perpetrator, survival mode, you can tell that, oh, it never is what we think it is. And usually the worst case scenario will rise to the surface. The narrative in the mind brings the worst case scenario. We have the potential to turn it around. What's the best case scenario? What could actually possibly happen to turn this energy around? Or, if you're not able to get there, get very neutral. It is all unfolding now. So it's like we've got to let the junk out, the garbage. We got to take the garbage out. Yeah. Okay. And that's definitely what's happening in this energy. The spirit of saying love, the spirit of love, unconditional love, is very much alive here on the planet within each and every one of us. What keeps us from experiencing that, giving that, receiving that, is what is rising up now. Whether it be fear, whether it be a narrative, a story. So just keep that in mind as and get excited. Get excited for the new. We're talking brand new. None of us have ever experienced this new frequency, this new energy that we are moving into for 2026. It's the year one. Fresh new beginning, fresh new start. We've been on quite the roller coaster ride. Many of us, since a first awakening, maybe 2012, some in 2015, 2016, some 2018, some 2020, it depends. We're like popcorn kernels. Not all of us pop open at once, but we're getting there. And those of us who are popped open, we still have our own crap to work through. It's not rainbows and sunshine all the time, but we can get there a lot quicker than we used to be able to in the old energy. And many of us are here to hold out a hand and be there for the others that are just now awakening to the truth of themselves, the truth of their heart, the truth of their soul. That is the mission. If you're looking for your purpose and your mission, that's it in a nutshell. However you do it, you do it. It's natural to you. All right. We got a lot of energy stirred up in the chat, I notice. Thank you, Dustin. We're holding steady here. Okay. So we're going to just throw out some messages here. Take what resonates for you. Leave the rest. My guides don't disappoint, usually. Whew. All right. Let's calm down the energy here. It's not our responsibility to pop anybody open or have anybody have the same perception that we do. That's not. But just to be compassionate, to hold space, to be loving and understanding. Because the journey of awakening it's gnarly. At first it seems amazing, and then you're shown all of your shadow and all of your stuff and all of your ego and your wounds and your shadow. And did I say that already? It can be quite intense. But for many of us who have gone through the process, which happens over and over and over again, as the spiral of time, which is the thumbnail for this live, the spirals of time, we keep revisiting the old stuff, whatever we signed up for. We have a birth chart, we have a map. We set these things up for ourselves. And I know that's triggering for a lot of people, but I'm here to tell you, not only is that a belief, it's something I embody because it's something that I've lived. And when I discovered astrology and I began to understand why I had the experiences I did, it connected. I remembered, you know what? I actually do remember signing up to have this experience. And the more that you do that, the less the challenges impact you, because you know it's strengthening us. It's bringing us back home into our heart over and over and over again. We are all here just walking each other home. On the other side, there is no such thing as fear, as of judgment, of anger, of any of that. We just have love. We allow each soul to express itself in its own and create in its own unique way. Yeah, many of the ancient texts, which are resurfacing, suddenly a lot of discoveries are being made. Under the ocean, under the pyramids, all over. We'll get into Antarctica and why nobody's allowed to explore Antarctica. It's very interesting how the timeline, his story, the history that was sold to us is being completely debunked, I guess you could use the word. It's being rewritten into the truth for sure. All right, so first message, Spirit. Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse. Nine of Wands upright. Okay. So there's a few messages that came through really quickly. I'm going to try to spit them out. Dreams are very intense right now. You may have a lot of dreams that don't make any sense, but other dreams that are like, wow, that was very vivid and very descriptive. So pay attention to your dreams. Maybe write them down before you forget them, if you are remembering them when you wake up, because they could be little puzzle pieces, little messengers for you. Others and it's so scattered because some of it is past life experiences. Some of it is just subconscious stuff that's been stored in the subconscious that is recirculating and resurfacing. We have the Six of Cups in reverse overall. And this speaks about the past. This speaks about the past. It speaks about our childhood in the past. And, you know, coming up upon Christmas and all the other holidays, that definitely brings up the past. And with this spread here, the past is revisiting, not to haunt us, but to help us change the story, the inner narrative about what we think about ourselves, who we are at a core level. And the story of the past that's arising in this reading is everybody else always gets what I want, but I can't seem to get what it is that I want. You fill in the blanks, whether it's the relationship that you've always wanted, or the career, or the job that you've always wanted, or the love, or the whatever it is. And it's because in the mind, the story in the mind has to do with the past, childhood, or just reminiscing of something that you may not have received. Unmet needs is what I'm also getting. It's not showing, it's like no matter what I do, I keep coming back to the past. I keep revisiting the past instead of, what's this work that we're supposed to do to manifest. And I mean, a lot of things, you have to be really discerning also, even in spiritual communities. Everything is heavily infiltrated. But with good reason. You want to, like I said, even with this message or any message you listen to, take what resonates, what you feel in your body to be true for you. Leave the rest. And when we're talking about spiritual teachings, take what helps you get to the next level, but be willing to drop it off when you have a new awakening or realization. Don't hold on to anything but your heart and soul. Let that part of you guide yourself. Page of Wands in reverse. This could really just be, okay, like I'm going to reword that a little bit. They're saying juvenile reactions, or I'm not going to do this, I'm not playing anymore, I quit, that kind of energy. It is the inner child having a tantrum, basically. I had this experience yesterday. Was it yesterday? I feel like it was either yesterday or the day before. Yeah, the night before. And I was very aware of it, but out of nowhere, this energy just arose with something that I had been desiring my whole life that still has not come to fruition. And that aspect of me, that inner child part of me, had a little bit of a temper tantrum. Also, yes, we are resilient. We are strong. Don't let your ego run the show, though, and have us walking around still in armor and mask because we've gone through so much. That's a big message there. Is there anything else you want to say? Okay. Dreams are very weird, I know. But last night's dream, or this morning before I woke up, the dream of the Divine Mother, or whatever, whoever it was that came to visit me, it was holding me as if I was the child and was just giving me a lot of love and nurturing and telling me, and this is a message for all of you, that there's nothing to fear and that I'm fully supported and loved and watched over and protected, as all of us are. Now, unless you believe something else to be true, that could be your experience. If you believe that not to be true, that may be that, how do we say? What you believe to be true is what you experience. This is how powerful we are. This is how programmed we were. I say were because I feel that the program, the operating system, is getting an update. And the old program won't run on the new operating system. Catch my drift? We're talking technical. Our mind being the operating system. And the body, because the body's holding on, clinging to the past, or clenching, or looking over the shoulder like, what next? What next? That's what I see here. It's like, all right, what next? I can't take much more. What's the overall energy here for this one? When these things do arise, know that they are arising because they are leaving, they're falling away, they are being shed. Reborn. We're being reborn. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And this is a very beautiful reminder that to understand that the vibration on the planet is changing. Our vibration is changing. The frequency that we emit, that we connect to, is changing. Stay open to receiving messages, open to receiving healing, organically and naturally, open to receiving connection from your guides, from all of the beautiful entities and energies that are here to support and guide and love us through this awakening as we are being reborn. Beautiful. It's only as bad as what we tell ourselves. So if you're still watching the news, and I mean, yeah, there are times where I am guided to just peek in and see like what is being fed to the collective, but I certainly don't fall for any of it. We have been lied to the entire time. Lifetimes, as a matter of fact. Most things are fake. Most things are not real. What is real is love, the heart. Okay. And I do realize that there are those that are out there that are still struggling and suffering. That last message did really touch me in my heart, and I have compassion. I have my own bouts of it myself still, but I know that it's not real, it's not true. And we have the ability to turn the energy around. Next message. 6 of Wands. 6 of Cups. I just felt a big burst of amazing energy in my heart. Thank you. Okay. Three of Cups overall. So this is about how we connect to one another, to each other, and how we find our soul family. There's amazing soul family here on this channel. We do meet up with each other through the journey. And these are souls, these are people that you have a remembering, you have a knowing, like, I've known you before. I've known you before and I just met you today kind of energy. But overall, we're talking about community, we're talking about connection, we're talking about soul family, 3 of Cups, and those that we are able to enjoy the journey with, to share emotionally, openly, honest, vulnerable. Oh, we've overcome so many challenges and faced our fears. We're still facing our fears, but this is the energy of victory, of overcome. I no longer need to be so reactive. I no longer need to flinch, to clench my jaw. There is a relaxing. And if you feel really tired, this is probably why. The body is usually the last to release. I know I've been very deeply exhausted with no good reason. I'm sleeping through the night. I don't have a lot going on that would stress me out. and I'm just tired, just bone tired, because we're going through a metaphysical, energetic shift. But beautiful. Overcoming challenges and obstacles, facing fears, 6 of Cups. Forming those connections. This is also a card about love. And there's also the card, again, it's not in reverse this time around, nostalgia. Reminiscing and reflecting back on the beautiful times that you have had with others. Letting that be the guidepost for what it is that you desire going forward. What's in suspension with the Hangman is the Queen of Wands in reverse, and that is the energy within us that is can be manipulative, can be demanding. I want what I want, and I want it right now, and it's got to be this way. Well, guess what? Most likely it will not be the way you want it to, especially the end of 2025. So throw all of your expectations out the window. One thing you can count on and expect is love, dignity, honor, truth, trust, respect, compassion. But so this aspect of ourselves, the Queen of Wands in reverse, is in a timeout. Suspended in midair, you're suspended. Because there's a new perspective. We need to see ourselves, all of our parts. The shadow is the aspect of ourselves that we do not want to admit actually exists. We hide it from ourselves, we hide it from others, but guess what? I see people's shadows all the time, and I am not judging it anymore. The old version of me used to, because it was a protective mechanism. Now, this isn't to say to put yourself in harm's way or in a situation where you're not going to be able to stand in your power and stay in your heart. But the demands of the Queen of Wands in reverse, it's almost like Saturn. I'm seeing Venus. Venus is what I want, what I desire. Being challenged by Saturn, restrictions. No, not now, not this way. Okay, we have another message with this one. There are people that we are wishing would wake up. Wake up, please join the journey with me, right? We can't awaken another. We can't interfere with another person's life path. Trust me, I used to try a long time ago, and I got so many slaps on the wrist from the universe. It was like, oh, I realized I got to stay in my own lane and learn not to judge and to have compassion and love in my heart. For however their ego wants to play out the facade that they think is them, truly. Inner critic. Anything else come up? Family conditioning at the bottom. So that's interesting. Here the inner critic comes out full force to put us down, our own inner critic. You're never going to meet somebody that gets you. You're never going to, it's that part within ourselves that has been wounded, so much so that it is actually trying. This is an old way of the internal part that tries to keep us small and protected from getting hurt again. Notice it if it arises. It can also be part of the family conditioning that you were born into. Maybe you had a parent that criticized and judged you, or a sibling that criticized and judged you, categorized you, diagnosed you, made you think you were something other than the divine soul that you are. These are hard challenges. We signed up for it. It's not easy stuff. But these parts of us that may have been suppressed or hidden for a long time are coming to the surface because we don't want to carry them with us. We don't want to take these parts of us with us anymore. And I'll tell you, the journey is not, again, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, but I do like to have a positive twist because, yes, we go into the depths and the darkness of ourselves. Yes, we get to see our own inner critic and our inner child wounds and our traumas and our patterns and our attachment styles, and there's a humbling over and over again. It is not a straight and narrow straight line. The path is spiral. It's this way, it's that way, it's up, it's down. We've been on a roller coaster ride all of 2025 for sure. So pay attention and realize what is arising is leaving. Unless you want to continue with the facade, unless you want to take it with you, which I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Okay, they're saying those who don't trust yet. Okay, those who don't trust yet, but it becomes so uncomfortable and so obvious. You can see it in others, you can see it in yourself, for sure. We have one more message, and then we'll pull a card for anybody that is asking. If you're interested, I mean, it's fine. If not, we can go into Oracle. Like I said, these messages get pretty deep sometimes. Venus squaring Saturn can also bring up financial issues. That's something that I was feeling yesterday and experiencing a little bit of frustration and anger with. I pay for internet, right? And receive this big discount on my monthly bill. And that was exciting. My son and I spent 2.5 hours on the phone with them, though, getting everything all squared away. And of course, now that we're in a week where money can be tight for a lot of people, or we stretch ourselves thin. And this bill came around. It was so silly, but this bill came around and the discount was not taken off. And I got so frustrated and mad because I'd spent all that time on the phone and yada, yada, yada. And all of the things started to arise, bubble to the surface, right? Survival mode, right? How am I going to have to move this around to make this work, and da 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 da. And I finally release myself from this. This is nonsense. I need to go about my day. So I was able to finally get myself out of that energy. And don't you know, I think it was 3 different times I had received a card from a client with money in it, a Christmas card. I received money in ways I didn't expect to, that actually paid for, and then some, what it was that I thought I was lacking in my mind. So this is what we would call miracles. They're not miracles. This is just how we can change the energy around. When you go around with the whole narrative, and I could have been mad, I could have been frustrated, I could have called. I was like, I'm not calling them right now. I could have dove into that energy or went into victim or woe is me or any of that stuff, which I have certainly done in the past. But this time around, I saw it for what it was. I allowed the emotion to come up and release it out and went about my merry way. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 3 different ways. Oh, and YouTube, I got paid, which I haven't gotten paid for YouTube since August. And it was like $120 for like 4 months worth of content. So it's not anything, but at least it clicked into what was missing or what was lacking in my mind to I'm even. Everything neutralized itself out and I didn't expect it. So that's another reason why I wanted to come on here and just give back. And so if anybody does want a card pulled for them, I'm happy to do so. I'm going to limit it though. Limit it. All right. Here's the next message. The Hermit came out again. We're going to put it back in because it kind of flew out, but just remember, this is a good time to slow down and go within and take time for yourself. Turn off your phone, turn off the TV, turn off the music even. Sit, go within, sit with yourself. Especially if you get stirred up by the outside world right now, which is very noisy, very loud, very oh yes, please like the video and type question in all caps. That's good. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that. Let's see. Hi, everybody. So happy to see you all. All right, it feels good. I'm not going to go through the whole chat. We're going to get into one last collective message. This is how we heal. You know, if you fall and you get a cut, just using this analogy, it hurts, right? And we've got to put the peroxide in, and that hurts even more. And then we cover it up with the bandage, and we allow the pain because that's all that we can do. But the body's already starting to do its natural healing process. We're kind of going through that natural healing process. So whatever pain arises, whatever frustrations arise, know that they are arising because they're leaving, unless you want to hold on to them, unless you want to cling on to that story, that narrative, that energy. All right. Three of Voices. What do we talk about? Pain, heartache. Oh, that's the worst one. When we have a wounded heart that just cannot seem to heal because no matter what we do, it keeps revisiting the story, the flashbacks, or the projections to us showing us that we're still wounded. Backstabbing. Okay. The pain is still alive because the narrative, the story in the mind is still alive. Check in with that story. News of emotions. Right. Check in with that story and how it's running through your emotional body, your emotional field. We have the potential to get to what's known as emotional intelligence. Instead of numbing out our feelings, instead of running away from our feelings, meet our feelings. Allow our feelings to arise and feel them. What is it telling me? It's telling you you still have a painful story, a painful narrative going on in the mind that loops around and loops around, that you haven't addressed the core wound. And that core wound arises in the emotions. So allow the emotions to flow. It has not been easy energy. The last couple of days have been really, it's almost like we're getting pulsations of energy waves that are really stirring things to the surface. It's not going to be this way forever. So keep that in your mind. This too shall pass. Because by the time we come into the 25th, 26th, we're going to have a lot more supportive energy and growth. We're almost there. It's been rocky. It's It's been gnarly, I will say. Uh, One little drop in the ocean. Thanks, Paige. Should I commit to living where I currently live for a long time? A few years. It's a new town to me, and I don't feel like I belong, but maybe my anxiety talking. Okay, we'll get to that one. Okay. So let's finish this message up, and then we'll pull a card for you. Okay. With the devil as the overall energy on this message, this narrative, this painful story, yes, it happened. Whatever happened, happened. And it happened in your own perspective. But it's been controlling you for a very long time. You see the depiction of this card. She's got strings on her hands being played like a puppet, like a marionette. This speaks of patterns of not being able to let go, not being able to let go of the pain. It's like it's got its grips on whoever this message is for. And the suppression of emotions can cause that to become even more painful. So really allow the energy in and out. See how she's drinking from the cup of her own emotions, and the energy is flowing in and out. Take control. Take control. Can I get one more on the Emperor? Take control of yourself. You can change course. And this goes for all of us, truly. It can be something so small, like the stupid little triggers I was getting. But still, there was a story. There was a narrative in there, right? Of survival, of this always happens, or blah, 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 whatever it is. Is that really true? Astrocartography is what it's called. If you want to look in, if you know your birthday, birth time, and place of birth, look up astrocartography. Yeah, for sure. And that will, you put in your information and it will show you where the line is as far as where you're living. I know that for me, my Jupiter and Venus line are out west, like Arizona area. And I always feel like really good there. I have a lot of expansive downloads and things. Also in Europe, there's a couple places. So yeah, depending on where we are on land, we have land lines, ley lines, energy lines. So astrocartography. Okay, back to this. Move on. It's time to move on. It's time to move out of this story, out of this narrative, this painful narrative of something that happened in the past. Betrayal is a really big one. Betrayal. And interestingly enough, well, each and every one of us has experienced some form of betrayal. That opens up our psychic gifts, though, if you want to be aware, so that we are able to discern going forward. None of us are victims to this. You're not a victim. Get in control. Get in control of your energy. Feel your feelings and let it go. Okay, do we have one more from this? And then we'll get into questions. And take a look at the patterns that have developed. Yeah, the fog. When we are in denial of our own, like that we're in control of our experience and our reality, when we're allowing whatever energies that have deceived us to be in control, when we're in fear and anger, we're in the fog. And that is that Neptune energy at the last degree of Pisces. Again, we're wrapping up a 14-year cycle with Neptune and Saturn, but with Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune is very spiritual, but can also be very confusing. It is not what is tangible at all. It is all about the ethereal, and also our subconscious. Neptune rules the subconscious mind and the collective unconscious. So making the unconscious conscious, becoming aware of our patterns, becoming aware of what has a control over you. And it all stems from pain and being going through something that really hurt. Betrayal. I keep getting betrayal. So, okay, so that's that one. All right. What should we use? Okay. Okay, one little drop in the ocean. Should you commit to living where you currently live for a long time, a few years? It's a new town. I don't feel like I belong, but maybe my anxiety talking. Right off the bat, that feeling of not belonging is very strong in the collective field. Even if you're somewhere you've lived your whole life, it's like, I don't feel like I belong on this planet kind of energy. So take that in consideration as well. But let's see what comes through for you. It's a very common theme right now. And no matter where you are, you belong. You belong here on the planet. And you may think of yourself as a little drop in the ocean, right? Is that your name? One little drop in the ocean, but you are the ocean. Do you see? Okay. Page of Wands. I'm hearing keep going, meaning things are going to change and your energy is changing. The Page of Wands is, you're going to soon start to feel like you want to get out there and connect or make connections. Search out maybe online something that you're interested in. Maybe it's a yoga class or an art class or some kind of community event that is in alignment with where you are now. But this is saying I'm ready to go on an adventure here. So that's the energy you want to get yourself into so you can release that feeling of not belonging. I hope that helped. So yeah, they're saying give it some time. Give it some time. She looks like you. That's great. All right, we have another one here. Give it to God 77. Is it possible to move forward and forgive? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the answer is yes. Most likely that some of those messages was probably for you. Forgiveness takes time. You don't want to force it because that's not real. Forgiveness becomes very organic once we go through a healing journey and really allow ourselves to feel everything. To have a new perspective on what happened from a higher vantage, that bird's eye Divine feather. Oh, thank you. We're going to bring that out too. Divine feather, the bird's eye view. Remember, it's almost as if before we were born, just envision this. This is for all of us. Before we were born, we got to stare down all of these different options of experiences, like little tunnels, and there's like thousands and thousands of them, right? And we get to pick and choose. I would like to go down this one. I want to be in a female body this time, and I want these people for parents, and these are the challenges I'm going to overcome and allow them to bring me back home to myself, bring me back to love. We get pulled as far away from love as possible, and eventually it becomes so uncomfortable that we snap, we break, we crack, and we start to come back to wholeness, to the heart. Yeah, you don't want to force it. That's not authentic. It's not real. The true organic forgiveness does arise when you finally let go of the story. There we go. When you finally let go of the story of the pain of the past. Well, look, we have the death card. Came out sideways because it's kind of telling me that maybe holding on to the story too long is keeping you trapped in a painful situation. But the death card really speaks of transformation, and you are going through a transformation, a change, a death of the old, of the past, and a rebirth or a birthing of the true, not even new, the true version of you. So yeah, this is it. 10 of Swords, rock bottom. You can't go any further. You can only go up from here. So yes, the answer is yes. You will heal, you will move on, you will forgive, for sure. Anybody else? I don't see any other. Wait, did I miss anything? Okay. Dustin, let me know if I missed anyone. Because if not, we're going to pull an oracle for a message for us all from Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is calling me. All right. Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say to us all. It feels really good in here, this energy that we're all sharing. So I thank all of you for being here and being a part of this connection. It's really important that we keep connecting. Even if it's online, we're still connecting. We're connecting energetically, and it's helping. It works. It really, truly does. So that we don't get pulled into, there's a lot of succubus energies parasitic energies that really want to pull us into a space of uncomfort. But when we have a soul family that we can, lean on, or just remember that we're not alone here. We're not alone here at all. And really start to connect to yourself, ourselves, our heart, our power, our strength, our tenacity, to not give up, not to fall back in. Hello, Jacob. All right. So what does Kuan Yin have for us? One card, please. Thank you. And you know, we are in Capricorn season now. Happy birthday, Capricorns. Oh, and number 13. We have here the yellow tiger mother. And I'm getting a strong message right now that each and every one of us, we have guides. We have ancestors on the other side. We have a lot of love and support. Listen, take time to listen to them speak to you in every single way they do, whether it's through a bird, whether it's through dreams, whether you're actually hearing and you're like, am I hearing? Am I making this up in my mind? No, you are not. Okay. Hi, Steph. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring her divine sound within you. She asks you to hear her, to remember that you are a powerful being of light, and even whilst you're in the flow with the, whilst you are in the flow with the universal forces, your strong roots help you be at peace with your truth, standing your ground whilst your light shines true. In our surrender to divine forces, there are times when we must be flexible and flow. And then there are times when the surrender is into holding strong and being true to our inner knowing. I know I felt that energy. Whew, sorry. Thank you, Dustin. That was a strong one, whoever that was. It broke me. Hold on a second. This is a good one. This is a good message, too. And you can just see how powerful the light is. Because even though some other energies broke my concentration, they definitely didn't break me and this message. Yeah, the light is irritating the demons. Okay, where was I here? Then there are times when the surrender is into holding strong and being true to our inner knowing. There are inner truths that we know are worthy of the effort to grow strong enough to honor them in our lives. These are the truths of kindness, compassion, the right of each individual being to be spiritually free and loved, and more. Oh, and freedom is a big subject. What is that? Darius Wright says, you can't be free if you believe that you have limitation. Something like that. I probably butchered it, but. To be spiritually free and loved and more. The yellow tiger mother sounds her roaring note within you. She is a fierce, protective tigress, and yellow is her golden strength and wisdom. She urges you to listen for her sound within and trust yourself. You know when you need to stand your ground and not be swayed. You are more powerful, strong, and courageous than you may realize. Your strength is not stubbornness or resistance. It is holding firm to what you feel in your heart to be true. And in time, you will come to realize the wisdom of your courage. Your strength at this time is needed, like a protective shield, providing nurturing to a young plant. Your strength and refusal to be dissuaded from your truths helps your dreams and higher path continue to manifest. Allow yourself to hear the yellow tiger mother as she gifts you with power, strength, and knowing. Be brave and stay true to yourself, beloved. Whoo, that's a powerful message. Whoo. Uh-huh. Love is the only energy that is limitless. Absolutely. And love is a powerful force. Blessings to you also. Oh, thank you, Stephanie, for the 1999. Merry Christmas to you also. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. This is an important passage. This is a sacred time, a sacred passage that we're all going through. It is the birth canal. We are birthing into new energies, into our true self, into our heart, our compassion. Stand strong. Don't give up. Don't give in to temptations to fall back into old patterns. And if you do, it's okay. You'll realize it and give yourself more compassion and love. Try not to judge yourself. That is the most important thing. Whatever we don't want to receive from others, don't give it to yourself either. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your path. Trust your journey. You signed up for this. You designed it. I know in the beginning when I heard that, I got so mad. I'm like, that's bullshit. I didn't design any of this. It's true. It is true. And the more that we can come to terms with that and honor the unfolding of what's to come, because I see and I feel such great amounts of new light codes, new energy, new perspectives being born every waking moment and through the dream state. So this is a beautiful time. This is a beautiful passage. Let's stay connected. Let's stay grounded. Let's stay together, soul family. We are growing. We are evolving. We are changing and shifting. And it is a miraculously beautiful, intense, crazy, wild ride that we're on, but we're doing it together, and that's the most beautiful thing. So, and we will all see each other on the other side and just there's so much celebration going on right now for all the work that we are doing. Don't discredit any of the inner work. I know we look for signs after going through deep purges. Just go with the flow. Things unfold. Like I said, out of nowhere, suddenly there are things that turn around, things that work out. Check in to see what you're holding on to, and what's keeping you stuck may be being worked out within you now. I know that's definitely been my experience. So, sending you all so much love. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And that was fun. I do enjoy doing these card pulls for individuals, so we might give that a try again next time. Merry Christmas for all of you who celebrate. Happy holidays for all of you who celebrate different celebrations. And for those of us who are just neutral in all of it, enjoy the celebration of life as much as we can. And even more so, because when we free ourselves from the past and from what's been programmed and traumatized and conditioned into us, we do start to feel lighter and brighter, and just many beautiful experiences to come. Yes, thank you all, community. I love that. Thank you so much. Sending you all so much love, and I will check in very soon. Definitely before the new year. I feel like going live a lot more often is the way to go, because we really get that deep connection with each other. So thank you all. So much love. Have a great night or day wherever you are in the world. Take care. Bye.